And we're back. Hi, Scotty. This cat, I swear to God. Ridiculous. All right, let's get started. And it's go time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pardon Me, Alex, the only Lumberjack basketball podcast out there on the market. It is I, Alex, and of course we have Jacqueline here, aka Jax, and we had a cat, and the cat is now MIA.
Yeah, he didn't like the beeping of the clock
on
the intro. He didn't like that.
Sorry, Scotty. Sorry, buddy. Didn't know that. Oh, well, he'll be all right. He'll come back eventually. As you can see, I changed for those who are watching live or watching later, I changed the background of our podcast to that amazing after game shot of Trell and AJ Kajust, aka Juice and Trell, after the win on Wednesday night in La Tech. So I thought it was fitting. That we use that picture. So my God, man, what a exciting game that was. I mean, the last time Jacqueline went to that game, I wasn't with her. She was with one of our friends, Lonnie. And I don't even know where I was at the last time we played La Tech. I don't remember. But anyway, so I was probably at work or something. Who knows? Anyway, so Jacqueline went the last time, and that was when there was didn't it go to overtime and end in like a last second shot with Kevon last time too?
I thought it was overtime, but I think I looked and it was just regulation. Hold on, let me look.
Gotcha.
It was just regulation. However, the last time that we played them was I'll save it for the matchup history, but
that's okay. Yeah. But anyway, so it's just always an exciting time when we go to Ruston. We have some good Cajun food pregame, and then of course we go and watch the game, and the rest is history. Everybody else knows what happens. But we're of course going to talk a little bit about our trip and our drive to Ruston. We left around 1:30 I was going to say in the morning. 1:30 in the afternoon.
That's the time I got home.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we left around 1:30 in the afternoon. We wanted to get there early. That way we could have plenty of time to sit and eat and relax before the game, which we did. We decided to go to, where did we go, Jacqueline? What was the name of that place? Ponchatoula's. Now, if that isn't a Cajun Louisiana name for a restaurant, I don't know what is. Very, very Cajun. But anyway, we arrived there. I'd never gone there before. I don't know if Jacqueline has ever gone there before.
Ponchatoula's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've eaten there before.
Okay. Yeah, so it was my first time going, and I had there was like a little mini meat pie basket that I enjoyed as an appetizer, and Jacqueline had like a sampler basket, I believe it was. Oh,
yeah, and meat pies and cheese sticks and boudin balls and onion rings and mushrooms, which I did not eat because they're disgusting. And here's the handsomest boy in the world right here.
Look at him. What a ham.
Get him.
Speaking of ham, he's built like a ham too. He's a thick boy. He's a thick boy, but we love him anyway. So Jacqueline had the little sampler basket. I had the little mini basket of meat pies, which were very good as well. And then for our main course, I had a crawfish etouffee, which was very good. And Jacqueline had, what was that called?
I don't even remember what it was called, but it was chicken like smothered with cheese and like sauteed onions and stuff, and then French fries smothered with cheese and bacon bits.
Wasn't it like? Wasn't it named after like a city or something though? Like
I can't even remember. I'd have to look.
Yeah. Santa Fe chicken, was that it?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The cheese fries with bacon that's now been renamed the Southern poutine.
The Southern poutine, the poutine of the South, yeah. It is totally, that's very spot on too, by the way. anyway, so we enjoyed our dinner and little downtown. Ruston was cute as well. They had all their Christmas lights out, and it was really well lit up and stuff like that. So that was cute. And then we went over to the game. And like I said, the rest is history. So going into the game, Jacqueline, we want to talk a little about our background info and the general history between us and La Tech.
So we touched on a little bit, but okay. So before the game Wednesday night, we had overall 4 wins and 7 losses against La Tech. So more losses than wins.
Mm-hmm.
The largest margin of victory we've ever had against them was 80-42 in 2006.
Dang.
Before Wednesday night, the smallest margin of victory was the game that Lonnie and I went to, which was 85-83. Popular little score for us on upsets. In December of 2017. But it was regulation win, not overtime. The last time that we played them was December of 2018. That was at home, and it did go overtime, and we lost by 3. So
I do remember that one. Yeah. But that is so funny how that was the score, 85.
I know.
For those who don't know or can't remember, which I don't know how you can because it'll be burned into our memories forever. That is the exact score that we beat Duke with, 85-83. So
yeah.
Little facts.
Yeah. A few little programming notes, which I hadn't noticed this, but Dad didn't tell me. And I didn't recognize his name either, I guess just because it's been so long. But their head coach at La Tech, Talvin Hester, he apparently was at some point in time an assistant under Casper at SFA. So that was interesting. And then whenever I attempted to watch the game back, one of their players, I think one of their starters, was a transfer from Angelina.
Yes, actually, I was going to bring that up because obviously we weren't really paying attention to and I really don't remember every kid that's ever played at Angelina. So there's that. But Mom had told me that when she was listening to the game and they had said that, they had mentioned that there was a guy, there was a kid, there was a transfer from Angelina. And now I'm trying to go back to the game here so I can look at the roster and see if I recognize said person's name.
I want to say it was number 3, but I'm going to look at their roster really quick.
I think Mom said it was number 3 as well, which, dang, I do not recognize that name. But if I go and pull up their roster, maybe I would recognize it. I'd have to go and...
Yeah, it was number 3. Quandre Bullock.
Yeah, I'll go to their page and see if I can recognize said person's name, said person's face. But because not there's so many kids and so many guys that go through Angelina. It's hard to remember everybody, especially if I don't have them in my classroom. I'm not going to remember their face either. But anyway, so let me pull up my notes too to see if there is any other game notes I had written down. I don't think so, but I did like the fact that it was easy to park. So shout out to that. Oh, here's the picture of the kid. Let me see here. Quandre. I kind of recognize him. He played 29 games for Angelina College as a sophomore. First team all region. I kind of recognize him. He looks faintly familiar. Faintly, vaguely. I did like how easy it was to get around and to park for the game. It was a nice looking facility. I will say that. I'd never been there before, so this was my first time experiencing the TAC, the Thomas Assembly Center, is what it's called. And let's see, what else? Gaming notes. We had comfortable seats, which was nice.
Yeah.
There was a couple little old men that kept staring at us or staring at me when you got up to go get water. Like, basically, I could just tell that they were going to ask me if those were my seats. And because they told Alex.
That's what he told me.
Yeah, they told Alex Baylor, they're like, I'm not sure that's your seat. You can't really sit there. Someone's coming and that's their seat. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, where are they?
Yeah.
And then the best part is that one of the men that was with them went and sat in that seat that he was sitting in. And then a few minutes later, a younger gentleman came down and told that man, sorry, sir, that's my seat. I bought that seat. And so he's like, excuse me. And then went and sat on the row in front of us. And I'm sitting here thinking, you a-holes, like you just didn't want anybody to sit there that wasn't, heaven forbid, La Tech people. Like, give me a break. And I do love that everybody kept staring at Chauncey's boots.
Yeah.
And they kept like making eyes at it. And I'm just like, she wore her shit kickers and her big ass, tall, like purple boots. And those things were vibrant.
They were.
And so, which I loved. But again, I guess the people of Ruston were a little more conservative.
You know what was funny was, so first, I mean, all of y'all already know this because you were the ones sending them to us, but we had a ton of people send us pictures of us on TV, none of them flattering.
None. Zero, especially mine.
But the one where I was yelling and the guy next to me is just standing there like, Mom was like, what's up with the guy next to you? And I was like, oh, he was a La Tech fan. I'm sure he wasn't super thrilled to be sitting beside me, but sorry, not sorry.
Like, again, I don't know what you want us to do. Like, we're there supporting our team. Like, if you were at SFA, you'd be doing the same thing too. So it's like,
yeah. Well, and I'll never understand why you would want to sit behind the opponent's bench at home.
Oh, I totally agree. I don't understand that. So whenever we come and we sit behind our team, whether we're home or away, like, don't look at us like we're weird and that we're, infringing on your territory because we're sitting behind our team. That's just what you do when you go to an away game. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Just dumb. Hey, Rick, how's it going, buddy? Hope the North is cold enough for you. Since you left us in East Texas. But yeah, great win. It was an exciting game. Very much felt like the Duke game, like it was a close game going into towards the end of regulation, and then we tied up at regulation and then go into overtime, and it was just another one of those stressful games. But yeah, it was a really exciting game, and we had a great time watching said game. So anyway, let's talk about the WAC standings. I'm sure not much has changed since we last talked to you guys about said standings, other than just a few more games and a few more wins. And we've moved up in the rankings, maybe like one spot. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 spots. Because we were at 9. Now we're at 7. So that's good news. Love to see it. So, Sam Houston's still in first, which, again, hurts my heart, but we'll soldier on. Seattle U second, Grand Canyon, California Baptist, Southern Utah, UTRGV, then us, Utah Valley, New Mexico State, because they took a nosedive at their last game on Wednesday. Oof. It was not the best game. And then Abilene Christian, Tarleton, Utah Tech, and UTA. So that is how the WAC is standing overall. And now Jacqueline's going to go into our stats. Oh no, I'm sorry. General notes. My bad. General notes. My bad. Yeah. I was jumping ahead, baby. So who were our starters?
So same as last game. Now that we have Terrell back, it was Terrell, Nigel, Day, Nana, and Rati. We did win, like we said, 1 point, 80-79 in overtime. The attendance there was 2,469. Nice. Right. Sean Kennedy's stat section, which it was their read out game. So, I mean, I guess that's decent turnout considering that it's Christmas break.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But also another programming note, that red light that they had during intros, I felt bad for, like, it didn't really bother me, but I know Jacqueline can't do that kind of light because it might give her a migraine. And so she was struggling because because it was red out. So during the intros, right after they did our intros, the entire stadium was lit up in red, which was cool, again, because it was red out. But if you have some sort of, epilepsy or, migraines or anything else that will affect because of bright lights or crazy lighting, this was going to f your life up.
Yeah, it was bad. I just immediately put my head down and like covered my eyes as much as I could. But I was like, man, they need a trigger warning for that, because if you have seizures or something, that
Exactly. A trigger warning would be nice, especially because of that reason. Like, there's a lot of elderly people in that stadium, and that bothered them too. Like, goodness. Anyway, so yeah, Jacqueline just had her eyes closed the whole time, and I was like, keep your eyes closed. I'll let you know when it's back on, when regular lights are back on, because I just felt bad because you almost had a migraine the morning after the concert. So that would have definitely affected you too. But yeah. Rick says we are number 149 in net after that La Tech win. Good. Yes, we definitely moved up in net rankings as well. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so Sean Kennedy's stat section, the field goal percentage was 51.8.
Mm-hmm.
Higher than their field goal percentage, which was 47. Our 3-point percentage was 43.8. Also more than double theirs, which was 20%. Our free throw percentage, 88.9.
Love that. That's probably one of our highest of the season.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive it is. Points in the paint, we only had 28, which is, not typically where we want it to be, but it worked for us. Their points in the paint were 54. Okay. Points off turnovers, we had 20. Second chance points, we had 9. Fast break points, we had 4. Okay, our bench points, we had 34, and that was only between 2 players.
Exactly.
So that was between Matt and AJ. So great.
And they had 5 bench players, and they only had 24 points.
Yeah.
Major. Big.
Our total rebounds, we had 35. We had 9 offensive and 26 defensive. We did actually, shockingly, have more rebounds than them. They only had 32. Didn't seem that way at the beginning of the game. But
definitely did not seem that way at all. Yeah.
Fouls, we did have 19. They only had 17, and they played 3 more players than us.
Mm-hmm.
So do the math there. So this is one of the worst stats of the game, but we had 28 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
They only had 17. We had 7 steals. We had 3 blocks. I don't normally list this one, but since this game, it was very prevalent. The lead changed 12 times during the game. So the game leaders, so our high point for the game was Matt, also a career high for him, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal.
Amazing.
Really, everyone who played except for Nana and Rati scored in double digits. So we had AJ with 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Day with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Trell with 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and Nigel with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal.
Mm-hmm.
Great stats, especially considering almost everyone on our team played over 30 minutes. And I mean, we only had 2 off the bench to sub in.
Insane.
And going into overtime.
Yeah, no, insane. I mean, I'm just looking at the free throws right now. I mean, we only had a total of 9 free throws. We missed 1. Missed 1 free throw. 9 total. We were 8 of 9. That's insane. And then looking at their free throws, they had 21 free throws to our 9.
Yeah.
21. It's an absolutely insane differential there. The fact that we came back essentially from behind and clawed our way back into that game and took them to overtime and then won is just astounding and amazing to me, especially with 7 dudes.
Yeah.
7 dudes. So that's a strength for me. Going straight into the strengths that or player of the game. Sorry, did you say your player of the game?
I would definitely say Matt. Especially that was awesome for him since he was so close to home. But AJ definitely strong second. Because let's see, that was a career high for him. Like I said, he was a high point. He was 4 of 4 from the 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and he had the least amount of minutes with the most points. But AJ was definitely a close second. He played a great game and obviously performed under pressure at the very end there. So.
Oh, completely. And that's why I threw AJ. I mean, I absolutely agree with the Matt. I 100%. I threw AJ as a my contender for player of the game just because of his performance and his game winning shot here at the very end of at overtime. He was an absolute dog in this fight. They all were. They all played their hearts out this entire game. Again, we had 7 guys to their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we had 3 less guys than them playing this game and came back and won and beat a really good La Tech team. Like La Tech, they're not a bunch of scrubs. Like
No.
They're a good team and they always are. And so to come back, tie the game up, then take them to overtime, and then win on a last-second layup type Nate Bain shot is just crazy to me. Loved it. And it's always nice when we can go into someone else's home and win. It always feels good. It always puts an extra pep in our step and in their step. And that's just a great win to take into this game this weekend against Furman. 100%. I mean, they came out aggressive. They came out ready to go, had a game plan, and yeah, was it a rough, hard game? Absolutely. There were a lot of calls that were missed. But again, our strength is in the grittiness and the strength of our team and their togetherness and playing as a unit and playing together. And man, obviously we had a lot of turnovers. Not great at all. I mean, just not ideal. But again, big strength for me is just the fact that we did not give up a single second in this game, because that game easily could have gotten away from us. Easily, having
multiple times that I thought it was going to, and I was like, oh, this is the moment where they're going to pull away and we're not going to be able to claw our way back. But every time we did. Somehow.
Exactly. And it wasn't just because we didn't believe in the team. It's just, again, we only have 7 guys. We're only, interchangeably switching them out a few times. It's rough goings. We did have another player on the bench that was suited up and could have gone in, Davion, but he didn't. But again, that's only one other guy to throw in there to give someone a break for maybe a minute, maybe 2. And just hope to God that the game doesn't get too out of hand or too, out of reach in that time period, which it shouldn't have, because again, the way we were playing defense was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, major strengths, the fact that we had just 7 guys, great opening threes. I mean, Trell, my brother, I love you. I do. I love you so much. Now, obviously, Trell wasn't the only guy hitting threes. We had multiple guys hitting threes. Trell obviously was 5 from 11. Nigel 2 out of 8. Of course, like we said, Matt, aka Kyle Heyman, was 4 out of 4. And AJ was 3 out of 4 as well. So we had a lot of guys taking threes and making them. And then, just a very, very good game from guys like Trell. I mean, like all of them, again, like Jacqueline said, there was only 2 players that suited up that didn't get into double digits in their points, which were Nana and Rati. But it's just, what a game. What an absolute game. What a dogfight. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, the nice opening threes. Nana came up big. Nana, he was in the first half. He was struggling a little bit. He was. Second half, he came on like his pants were on fire. He was blocking. He was getting rebounds. He had those 2 really, really good blocks in the second half. He had only 2 personal fouls, which was shocking to me. I honestly thought that he had more. And then when they announced Nana's, he had a foul, and he was like, I was like, Jacqueline, did they say it was his first foul? And it was in the second half. It was just shocking to me. I was like, oh my God. And then what else? Then he had those, he had 7 rebounds. I think majority of those came in the second half. I mean, it was a game. It was a game. Let's see. Daryl, one could make the argument that given the situation, it's one of the finer wins a WAC men's team has recorded this year.
I agree.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. You know, considering all the adversity that we're facing currently at the moment, like, that's a damn good win.
Very, very.
Damn good win. Yeah, I'm sure I probably have other positives to say, but I can't think of any at the moment. Maybe you talking about yours, you'll jog some memory in mine.
You talked a little bit about the 3-point, and I did too on the stats. But I mean, Matt and AJ were both. Matt completely flawless, AJ almost. I will say Trell was at the beginning 5 of 5. Then he was 5 of 6 again, but then he missed a few. Still a great 3-point performance from him. So I did laugh because the announcers mentioned, but whenever I went back to watch the game today, they meant, because I didn't even know about the win streak that they had going.
Oh, no, I did. Oh, that's right. Dang it. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know about, neither of us knew about it going into the game. Dad texted me after the game and said something, but when I watched the game back, they said it at the beginning. They were like, yeah, they have a 31 home game non-conference win streak. And but they did mention the fact that we're giant killers. So they were like, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And the announcers were really good. I'm sure they were ESPN provided since it was an ESPNU game, but they were great. They were super knowledgeable. Talked about both teams a lot. So that was good. Another thing that I was going to compliment them on is I feel like really on offense, like our ball movement was great considering the pressure of their defense and the fact that like we only had 7 players. So they were all tired. And I'm sorry, I said it. People can argue with me, but I'll say it again. You can have the best habits possible, but when you only got 7 dudes and you're all getting tired and you're going to overtime, like it's not even a matter of them being conscientiously sloppy. You're just tired and you're not moving as fast. So turnovers are going to happen. Missed shots are going to happen. Things are not operating as well as normal because you're whooped. You're tired. I mean, you only got so much gas in the tank. And those dudes were playing us hard the entire game. I mean, they were playing defense like we play defense. They were all over us. Did not get 1 second of rest on that floor.
No. I mean, Nana came out, literally the first time he came out was very deep in the first half. Very, very deep. And he probably came out for
30 seconds.
I was going to say 30. It wasn't even a minute. Wasn't even a minute. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, obviously our turnover stat is dog shit right now. Totally understand. But some of those were definitely unforced turnovers. Some of them were forced turnovers too. There were a couple missteps we made for sure. I mean, we stepped out of bounds a few times.
Some of them I don't think were on watching.
I agree. Like watching it back, I'm like, it's 50-50 there. Like I think some of those calls were just very ticky-tacky. And anyway, we'll talk about that in the grievances. I'm saving that in the back pocket for when we get to the second half of this. But it's just, I mean, yes, there are going to be turnovers. Totally understand. The guys are gassed, and there's going to be turnovers. There's going to be turnovers. It stinks. It sucks. But we still won the game. So
yeah,
that's all that matters at the end of the day. Yeah. Like those are things that can get cleaned up in practice, hopefully. But at the end of the day, we came out, we got the dub in a really difficult team in a really great place to play too. I mean, that place, it's a nice size assembly center, auditorium, coliseum, whatever you want to call it, but it's not too big. So it's very intimate. So, it's a hard place to play. That place was loud in the second half.
It was
very loud. Like they woke up and they realized, oh shit, like SFA came to play tonight. Maybe we should start yelling defense, because in the first half, it was literally just us like yelling and screaming defense. And so second half, the band came alive. The few students that were there came alive. The crowd came alive and really, really started like getting loud. So we were going against some very loud conditions there in the second half.
Yeah.
Whatever. Giant Killers, 31 game non-conference home streak broken.
Very exciting.
Yes. Okay. Is that it? Moving on to the second half of this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
You.
So my first one, just because it's like a grievance, but yet also a strength. I just can't believe. I mean, we only had 7 guys playing, and we still played mostly man. I mean, yes, Rick says love it. SFA is respected, but that's such a great point. Because yeah,
we were
like
yes.
I mean, I know at least in the first half we only played zone for like 4 minutes, maybe. Yeah, because I was texting with Simon after the game, and I said my only complaint was. So I'll go ahead and say it. Really, my only big complaint was that we let them get 5 alley-oops as far as complaints with our team. And I said, but we play a really, really tough man defense. We overplay everything. That's how we get the leading turnovers in the country. So that puts us at a risk of backdoor cuts and alley-oops and stuff of that nature. And he's like, you only played 7 dudes and you played man? Sheesh. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much the whole game. I mean, we did play a little zone, but not a lot. So, I mean, it's a grievance that we are in that position, but a weakness that they did that well with it. So yeah, again, grievance with the turnovers, but it is what it is. That's what happened, and they fought back and had so much effort.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, so I just checked the net rankings, and we went from 178 to 155. Rick, I don't know where you found 149, but if you could let me know, that'd be great. But I see 155. So let me know where you saw that, buddy. But yeah, I was trying to remember who tweeted it. I was looking on my phone and looking for it. It was Matt Atkins, and I can't find I can't think about the dang tweet. But he said that I guess that was something that Keller had mentioned during his preseason presser, something like that. I'm trying to find it. I don't remember what exactly he said, but it was something about like the fact that it made there it is right there. Keller mentioned before the season started that they were going to try to mix in a little zone offense defense. Saw it more on Sunday and now today against La Tech. So yeah, I guess that was something he had mentioned previously in his, now that I'm thinking back, he did in his preseason discussions with people that they were going to try to mix in a little bit of zone. And I mean,
probably the most zone that I've seen him play since he's been here.
Oh, yeah. Because we usually never do it at all. Like 0% usually in games. 0. And it came up a lot Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wild.
I will say on the alleys too, because it's just a funny note, but after I think they got 1, and then there was like several minutes and they got 2 right in a row. And I texted him and I was like, I cannot believe that we let them just do that again right after we just let them have 1-2 right in a row. And that was when Keller had called the timeout. Dad just texts back, Keller can't believe it either.
Like, it's okay.
God. I googled it the other day. I may have misunderstood it. Thanks for well. Okay, you might. I mean, you might have seen.
Yeah, it may have said 149. I literally just saw a screenshot, and I'll check as well because who knows, the screenshot might have been wrong too. So I'll look and see. I'll double check that while we keep going. Let's see what Daryl, is this the team that will take the floor in 2 weeks on the opening night of WAC play, or is there hope to get guys back? Daryl, honestly, can't tell you 100%, buddy. To be fair, there's a really good chance that this is the team that you'll see. I'm not sure if we'll have Jalen back. He kind of made it sound like he'll be back for conference play, like in the new year. But he also said conference play, so it could be in 2 weeks where we have him back, but it could also be New Year. I'm not 100% sure. You know, obviously we're not going to grill the guys on whether they're coming back and when they are, because they should be focused on just coming back. It's healthy.
We're hoping, but
hoping. I have no idea about Robbie, have no idea about Jaleel, have no idea about Derek. None.
Yeah, and the way that injuries have been happening, I hate to even jinx it because it seems like we take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So who knows what's in the cards for us there. So the only other I had a few more grievances on us, which was number one. And once I saw the stats, we did get more rebounds than them. It just felt like we
could not buy a rebound though.
We weren't wild. Though I feel like the ones that we got were just lucky. So that's something I would like to see a little. And I get it. We were outsized and outnumbered last night, so I feel like they were doing the best they could. But I do think we need to make a conscious effort to put a little more energy to the proactive blocking out, because then it is a little easier to get. You're not going to get an advantage on getting a rebound if you're not blocking out at all, whether you're bigger or not. So there's that.
Okay, now I'm confused because now I'm confused because now it says that we're at 155 and now we're currently at 161 and we were at 155. That can't be right. How did we? There's no way that we dropped.
Well, maybe some other teams played last night. Would that affect ours? I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe. Wait, how many games have we played? We played 8 games? No, that's not right. Is that right? It says that we're 4-4. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I gotta figure this out because now I'm freaking confused. Because on one thing it says that we were 155.
We've played 10 games. We're 6-4.
Yeah, so because right here it says record 4-4. That's not right. See, this says games through December 15th, 2022. So that was yesterday. So I don't know where the change. So I guess we were at 155.
Oh, and they probably don't count when we played NAI schools.
Oh, maybe. True. Maybe. Okay, maybe. But yeah, we were at 155, and then now I guess based off of the games that were played yesterday, now we're at 161.
Okay. Yeah, they probably didn't count Laterno and Paul Quinn.
Okay. Yeah. Tarleton moved up 1 slot. Southern Utah is at 155 now. They were at 152, so they've moved down. Furman's actually at 152. So they're just a little bit ahead of us in the net rankings, just for FYI purposes, moving into this weekend. We're definitely not 149 or 155 anymore, or 161. I'm going to totally kill someone when I go all the way back up to the top here and I look and see that Sam Houston, 23. Kill me. Okay.
We can hope. See, I was gonna say the last bit of grievances I have towards our actual guys was, and I think they only called it once, maybe a couple times, but we got the 3-second lane call again, and that's just.
I wrote that down too.
Something that we've been struggling with lately, that we got to be a little more aware of. And then the tech on day, man, listen, I 1000% understand how frustrating that game was. Luckily, it didn't cost us the game, but because the guy only made one of the free throws, but that's the kind of stuff that could cost us a game down the line. And watching it back, the other guy definitely did like try to antagonize and start it, but he just like stood in his way, and then Day just pushed him.
So yeah. So what you're saying is that he didn't need to do that.
Right. And even the announcers did say, like, you know, he was obviously trying to the other player was trying to get a rise out of him.
Oh, like, yeah. The whole team were a bunch of instigators.
He was trying to instigate something.
Oh.
But you just, I mean, and he knows as soon as he did it, I'm sure, but this cat, just because I'm not paying attention, you want, I got to see if I can turn the screen and show y'all this. He brought me that little mouse that's on the floor back there. I don't know if y'all can see it. Okay, well, I'm not directing.
Is it like gray? It's like right under that chair.
That little green mouse right in the
back. I see it. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what he brought me. That's why he was meowing. Anyway, I'm sure Day knew as soon as he did that, but it's like, if you blatantly push the guy in the back right in front of the ref, they're going to call it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have pushed him too, but.
Facts. And Cat Fans is listening currently, but they never want to post it on the main feed because they're a bunch of chickens. But yeah, non-D1 games do not count in net rankings. So yeah, yes, that's what we figured. Yeah, we figured that out, and we figured it out before you told us that. But anyway, yeah, I echo a lot of what Jacqueline said grievance-wise about the game. A few things that just stuck out to me. Obviously, of course, were those backdoors. I mean, how could you not? How could you not? Oh, sometimes those are just, well, not sometimes, most of the time, if not all the time, those are just huge, like, demoralizers. And I'm just glad that we didn't let it get to us because five.
Yeah.
That would kill any team's confidence. Team's confidence.
The alley-oops especially, because here's the thing. I mean, they count 2 points like any other shot, but it's not even about the pride, but when a team makes an alley-oop like that, that's what gets the people going. And then, you know, every time they made one, I was like, oh, shit, this is the end. This is where they're going to get hyped up. The crowd's going to get all into it. The atmosphere is going to push them over the edge to give them that final little stomp to get us down. So every time I was like, this is going to be it.
And that's the thing. 1, okay. 2, okay. 3, what the 4? Are you freaking kidding me? And 5, like, kill me now. Like, are we not even paying attention to the basket? Like, that's one thing that we would always preach on here is it, yeah, I mean, you almost have a 6th man you have to cover, which is the basket. You know what I mean? And so it's like, if you're not paying attention to the people behind you and the basket behind you, then you're just leaving it totally open for those damn backdoors. And it's just.
And I am going to say, I think that is something that is a weak spot for us right now, because of many of the things that we've said before, as far as being short manned, is that we have different people playing different positions. We have different combinations of people in there. And that just comes down to a communication issue, because when you know you're playing that type of man defense where you're going to overplay, you just have to really be communicating on whose responsibility that is to step up and guard the basket if they sag off. And I think that's probably just something that we'll improve upon as, you know, we get a few more games under our belt with the only 7 that we have right now. So,
Oh yeah, completely. And again, it just goes back to too, a lot of these guys playing on our team at the moment are new dudes too. So they're still trying to get to know each other. But anyway, the grievances, again, of course, main one is the injuries. That's going to be the grievances. That's going to be my number one grievance until we're back to being at least 70 to 80% healthy. You know, if we can get a couple of guys back either at the beginning of conference play or during conference play, I'll be ecstatic. Another grievance I have, of course, was those turnovers. I mean, yeah, a lot of them were unforced. A lot of them were just kind of silly mistakes that either we made or mistakes on the call from the freaking ref. I mean, there was God, I can't even talk. I'm so mad. There were two glaringly obvious flops on La Tech that were called against us as like, you know, a block or a push off or something. And they called it on us. And I'm like, he fucking flopped. Like he flopped. He flopped so hard. It's not even funny. Like he didn't even touch him.
Yeah, one of them was pretty textbook. Egregious.
And it was called. So there's one turnover. Boom. Happened again on the other side of the court. It wasn't as egregious, but still a definite flop. There was minimal contact, and that was another turnover. Again, like we mentioned earlier, there were a couple calls of us going out of bounds. I just, again, don't so 50-50. Anyway, those are turnovers too, obviously. So there was a handful of turnovers that were questionable, shouldn't have been turnovers, but there were. So that's a grievance against it. I also have a few grievances. You know, I don't even want to go that far. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, I'll say I have another. My main two grievances with the referees on this game was.
Well, mine wasn't even about referees. It was about
okay
person. But I'm just gonna.
Okay. Well, nice. Yeah. Okay. So my main two grievances with the refs, and you'll know I don't complain about the referees often, but I just feel like they were playing such aggressive defense, and there were a lot of times that I felt like a cylinder foul could have been called, and instead they called it a travel on us. And there was a lot of hand checking and grabbing that was not either. So I feel like they could have thrown us a little bit of a bone there, especially considering, you know, we didn't have a full team even really, hardly, but you know, on the road, you're not going to get those calls. So that's just is what it is.
You're right. And there were a few times that they definitely had makeup calls because there were a few missteps that we made and they didn't call. And I was like, all right, fine. If that's how we're going to play this game, then that's how we're going to play this game. Whatever.
Yeah,
fine.
There were a few that were no calls where I could tell they were trying to make up. So I at least appreciate the effort, but it was still pretty lopsided, which Chauncey told them every chance she got. Not that it helped.
No. And she even had a cross the court or, you know, conversation with one of the refs saying, you know, whatever the fouls were or free throws were to, you know, from us to them. And he literally looked at her and was like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm aware. I mean, just either they're oblivious to how lopsided they called or they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I have a grievance that is totally not basketball related. I have a grievance versus Christmas lights.
Okay.
So I started putting out Christmas lights yesterday and outside on my bushes and in front of the house and all those things. And I got halfway done. And then all the Christmas lights went out. And I freaked out. And I lost my shit because they all were on. As I was putting them up, plugged them in, turned on, great, strung them up. Plugged them in, turned them on, great, strung them up. Did that all over the house, in the front, in the side yard, all of it. And then they all went out. And I was like, what the flying frick? I freaked out. So I said, screw it. I'm not doing any more today. I need to get dressed. I'm going to afternoon tea. I'll deal with this on Friday. So fast forward to today. Wake up, go out there, start unplugging all the lights, took all of them down. I literally started putting up all brand new light boxes. Like we had a bunch stored away from last year. Opened them up, undid them, started stringing them up like I did yesterday, but with all brand new lights. I get to the same exact spot by the front door this morning, and they go out again. All brand new lights. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I'm not doing this. I literally took them all down and threw them in the garage. I was like, I guess we're not having lights outside. I guess we're just having inflatables and some spotlights, and that's it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. So big grievance versus Christmas lights. They can all kiss my ass. I'm over it. I was not feeling very Christmassy after twice I failed with these Christmas lights, and I don't understand. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think these Christmas lights are hacked. They're bullshit, or I don't know.
Was it a plug in that spot that you were using that might not be working? No.
Nope. I have them plugged into the garage with an extension cord, and that extension cord is actually also lighting up candy canes along the driveway, which are all lit, and they're fine. So it's not the plug. It's not the extension cord.
Weird.
All of the other candy canes are lit, but these damn lights on the freaking benches or on the bushes just don't want to stay lit. And they're all brand new boxes, all of them. So there's that. There's my grievance versus Christmas lights. I almost to the point where it's like, you know what? Christmas is canceled. We're done. I'm over it. Happy Festivus, you know? Like, when is Festivus? Isn't that the day after your birthday?
December 23rd.
Okay, a couple days after your birthday. All right. Okay, do I have any more grievances that are basketball related? Let me listen. Let me look.
I have two more, and they're actually both brought up by Richard, my father. So
Okay.
first one, this is funny because, again, my dad, referee, doesn't normally comment on the officiating, but when AJ made the game-winning layup, I said he totally redeemed himself on that foul on the play before, which I was only I'm not saying that I thought it was a foul or I didn't think it was foul, didn't see it close enough to tell. Although in the court, I was just saying what they called it. And he texted back and was like, was it a foul? So there's that. That was his call on that. And then he texted me yesterday morning and said, why did AJ's layup not make the Sports Center top 10? And I'm like, I don't know. So.
Oh, no. Yeah, it didn't, did it?
I feel like we got the shaft because that should have been an ESPN Sports Center top 10.
I feel like easily that could have been. I mean, what else is going on?
What else
in
happened
the sports world that would be better than that? Yeah. I mean, we made multiple feeds on Twitter, NCAA buzzer beaters. We made multiple feeds, and then we don't get any love. But what else is new? ESPN is against us always.
We will give you the number one Sports Center top play, AJ, because definitely should have been on the list for sure.
Oh, this wasn't a grievance, but more of like a game note. I don't know if anybody saw. Well, a few people did see us, but when I tweeted that we were out back, we found the bus after the game, and we went down there to go get our hugs, man, get our hugs and our handshakes and our high fives after the game, and we got them from pretty much every guy, and they all. This is part of the grievance. Most of them asked us if we were going to Furman this weekend. And my grievance is, why is shit so expensive that
why is being alive so expensive? We're not even having a good time.
Yeah. Like, and I know it's a 12-hour drive, which again, you know how much I would totally drive it. But again, that costs money.
And that takes, you can't cram that in one day. So you're going to take at least 2 days up there, the day there, 2 days.
I mean, you would cram it in one day.
You don't have the time or the money for this.
Yeah, I mean, you could cram it in one day. I've done a long drive like that in one day. But then you
don't want to do it twice, like back to back, because that's miserable.
I mean, yeah. For those who don't like, again, it doesn't bother me, but we would have to stay at least 2 nights in order to not have to drive back to back. Yeah. But still, I'm not doing that.
No.
I don't have the money for that. If you guys want to pay for us to go, great.
We
But we'll
wish we could have. That would have been a fun game. And I've heard Greenville's super cute and fun.
That's exactly why I was like, if we didn't go to Canada, we would 100% be going to Furman.
Yeah.
Easy. 100% be going to Furman if we didn't go to Canada. Like there's no doubt in my mind that we would be going. Yeah. My last grievance, and I'm just gonna make it quick, and then we'll move on and we'll be done here. Is, I expect Nana to not have a lot of points. I mean, 2 points, okay, but he made his impact in other places in the game, especially in the second half with the rebounds and with his blocks and things like that. He did have a couple of not so great turnovers, and he lost the ball a couple times, but again, not going to be upset about that because that boy is doing his damnedest down there. He is doing the best he freaking can. Now, who I am kind of disappointed in was Rati's performance. He had 5 rebounds. He had 2 steals. Great. That's awesome. But his shooting performance was very, very bad.
It was not a good day for him. And again, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So who knows what could have been going on.
Yeah.
But it was
just not, it was not typical Rati. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like
probably his worst game I've seen. I mean, even Dad texted and was like, I feel bad for him, but it's just not his game today.
Totally. And I felt very bad for him too, because I really wanted him to at least, even if he didn't score a lot, at least to get something on the board. But to see all the zeros and a goose egg, that hurts my heart for him, because I know he doesn't, nobody does. Like, nobody wants to go out there and play for 28 minutes and score nothing. Like,
yeah, and I know he's especially tough on himself, so I hope he sleeps it off, new day,
takes it off, has a killer game versus Furman. That's what I'm hoping. I had to say it because I was just like, I hate that for him, and that's my grievance, is that I hate that for him. The fact that he just had a bad game, bad day, and it's just sometimes it's just not your day, man. It's just not your day. And if that's the case and that's the point, then it's you just need to do other things in the game to help the team win. Rebounds, defense, et cetera, which we were, obviously doing well on. I mean, we had, let's see here. I wish we had, there was only 17 turnovers that they committed, but we had 20 points off turnovers, which isn't amazing. They had 23. I wish there was a stat that we could look at that was like specifically forced turnovers. But I saw that they had posted today that we were number 1 in the nation with forced turnovers, which I usually think we are anyway. Or at least top.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find that percentage. Hold on. Right here. Yeah, okay. Number 1 in the nation with enforced turnovers per game. But they don't have the statistic. But that's okay. That's fine. All we need to know is that we're first.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Okay, good. All right. So moving through to the kind of tail end here of our podcast. Game summary, 1 word to describe the entire game. Analysis. Jacqueline, what do you think? What'd you put?
I said perseverance, because, man, there were just so – and, I mean, it was tough. We've already went through all this, but it's tough. We only had 7 players to rotate in and out. The guys are getting tired. They're playing us super tough. We're not getting calls. We're not going to get calls. And, there were points where I was like, we've had every opportunity to win this game, and we didn't. But and they came back multiple times, like we said, with the alleys and stuff that could have just completely jazzed them up and pushed them over the edge, and we clawed back in every time. And down to the last second, I thought there's no way we're gonna get. And it wasn't that I didn't think we could get a shot. I didn't think that if we got fouled, I didn't think that we would get the call.
Yes. Yeah. Very good point.
I was not very confident on having AJ, poor little AJ, take it down to the lane, knowing he's not going to get the call no matter what they do. But damn it, he went in and made it anyway. So.
He did. It was so Nate Bane of him. The only difference was it wasn't a buzzer beater. I mean, it almost was a buzzer beater. They put 0.9 seconds back on the clock, and that's what they were. I honestly, at that very moment, I was like, if they're going over there to look and see if it was before the buzzer, I was really like, it was way before the buzzer. Like, what are they looking at? And then when they put the time back on the clock, I'm like, 0.9 seconds. I mean, that's basically giving them a catch and shoot, which is basically what they did, but still, like, give me a break, man. But I understand 0.9 seconds back on the clock. I get it. It was just it was very Nate Bane-esque. I was talking about how AJ kind of reminds me of a few different players kind of rolled into one. He reminds me of Johnny Boy rolled in there. He reminds me of Nate rolled in there. He also has a little bit of David in there too, I think, with his point guard capabilities and stuff like that. So I love it. And now with his shooting.
Yeah.
Mamma mia. So, it's good. Like you mentioned the other day, one of the last podcasts about, if he can be more of a shooting guard.
And, that quality in him reminds me of Trey, because Trey rarely shot the ball. But when he did, he made it.
He made it.
So
spot on. Great comparison. So add Trey in there. Sprinkle a little bit of Trey in there. Sprinkle a little bit of David, a little bit of Nate, a little bit of Johnny Boy, and man, we got one hell of a guy. And I'm just pleased as punch. So my word was grit. They were gritty, baby. Absolutely gritty. They, from start to finish, they gave it their all. They fought. They clawed back in the game down, some points we're almost down 10, down 8. The game was never out of reach, but sometimes it felt like it, especially when those damn backdoors and alley-oops were happening. But they didn't let that get to them. Only subbing in 2 guys off the bench, AJ and Kyle, aka Matt. And I'm glad Matt had such a great game, especially in front of some of his family members that came down. We asked him after the game, we were sitting in front of a couple of your family members, how many came down? He goes, oh, no, there was a bunch.
Yeah.
I love that for him.
That made me really happy for him.
Exactly. So, yeah, grit was my word. I think there was such a gritty win. A lot of people, I think, were invigorated back into the Lumberjack basketball, happiness. Some people were just getting kind of, I don't know, they were just getting kind of negative. They're like, oh, we're not doing well this year. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, again, like we only have a handful of guys plus some that are healthy and playing. Like, give us a little bit of grace and just stick with it, because I mean, could you imagine if, we make it to Vegas and then totally, surprise everyone? I mean, what a freaking Cinderella story. You talk about Cinderella stories. I mean, coming from the bottom, now we hear type of thing, So, hello, ladies.
Oh, hey, Jose.
Snowstorm in Chicago. Yikes.
I know you're not happy about that. Sorry about the luck.
I know. Yikes. All right. So upcoming games. So obviously next coming up is tomorrow we have the road game in at Furman College in Greenville, South Carolina. Again, I wish we could go to that, but obviously that's just not in the cards for us because, money. money. But a few programming notes about this game. So actually, it's going to be live on YouTube. It'll be streamed live on the Field of 68 YouTube channel. This will be their inaugural game that they're going to be covering live, their first live game by the Field of 68. And so they've chosen us versus Furman to be their first live broadcasted game, which I think is kind of cool. So what the founder Rob Doster said, this will be our first foray into the broadcast space, and I could not be more excited about it. Ideally, this will be the first of many as we transition the Field of 68 from discussing the results of the game to a platform where we can celebrate and highlight programs that deserve more national attention. So at the Field of 68, we celebrate all levels of college basketball, not just the Blue Bloods. So I can't think of a better way to start streaming live games than with two of the very best mid-major programs in the sport, Furman and Stephen F. Austin. So I think that's really cool that they chose us. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. So Furman at the moment is 6-3 on the season. They have 3 losses, have come by combined 13 points, and is currently 3rd on KenPom. That's what I need to look up and see what the heck of our KenPom is.
Jose just sent us both a picture of his balcony with all the snow, if you guys can see that.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Look at the snow. Oh boy. So they're number 60, 83 on KenPom. Actually that's not correct at the moment. They moved down to 89. Let me see where we're at. Grand Canyon, Kinbom. Keep going. Well, they're definitely pretty far down. Jesus, Pete. Damn. They're number 83. We're number 100 and million plus because I haven't even found us yet. Jesus, Pete. All right. Well, I'll have to find us and post it because I have no idea where the hell we're at. I don't even see us on there. Okay, well, obviously I passed it, so I don't know where it's at. I'll find it. But anyway, yeah, so this is the Greenville Winter Invitational. So it's a multiple team basketball showcase taking place at the Well. The one-day 6-team event will feature other teams like South Carolina versus East Carolina, Clemson versus Richmond, and of course our game versus Furman. And so, yeah, it's going to be an exciting day, exciting game. It'll be at, what time is our game? 3:30 Eastern, I think.
3:30 Central. That's how they have it listed on the schedule anyway.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I believe.
All right. Well, I think that's right. It says that the Clemson and Richmond game is at 1:00 Central, so that would make sense if we're at 3. Begin 30 minutes after the Furman.
3:30 p.m.
Okay, yeah, 3:30. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, that'll be live on YouTube channel, so that'll be free for people to watch. Thank God. Won't have to worry about buying anything. I was really concerned that we were going to have to purchase something in order to watch the game, but it'll be free on the YouTube channel, which will be perfect. And then moving on from that, after that game is over, then the Jacks will be coming back home for Monday. What's Monday?
My birthday.
Yay!
We won't say happy
birthday. You're going to be 21, right?
Yeah, 21 again.
That's what I thought. So yeah, the Jacks will be coming home on Monday. We'll be playing North American. I'm assuming it's probably some.
They're NAIA.
Okay, that's what I thought. But it will be on ESPN Plus. Like I said, Monday at 6:30. Then we play December 22nd, which is Thursday, at home again versus Jackson State, 2:00. That game was moved up from about 6, I think, to 2:00. And then after Christmas, we will be playing Abilene Christian, the beginning of the WAC conference games on December 29th at 6:30 in Nacogdoches. So we got another, whenever the Jacks get home from Greenville, another 3-game homestand. And then to round out the December schedule, the December 31st. So New Year's Eve day on at UT Arlington, in Arlington at 1:00. So that's the end of the December schedule. Then we'll be moving obviously into January and getting into the very meat and potatoes of our conference schedule. So the best is yet to come, I think, hopefully. Fingers crossed, we'll get some of our guys back and we'll get things rolling again on 100, not 100%, but at least 80 to 90% full cylinders and really, see the team that we were going to see throughout the whole season. But I've been pleased with our performance thus far. I mean, who can predict all of the injuries? Nobody. That's not something that you predict. So we're doing the best we can with what we got. And I think what we got at the moment is just a core group of really dedicated and gritty dudes who are putting their bodies on the line and going 120% every game.
Yeah.
Completely. There's just a weird noise that just happened. It's okay. All right. So I think that brings us to the end. So, as always, remember to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter sphere. And of course, follow us and subscribe on YouTube so that you can watch these later if you haven't been keeping up live, which again, we know sometimes it's hard to do. Also, don't forget to get your My Plates. I know we just saw the Revs My Plates that he ordered and got in, and his My Plates said "Axes Up," which was, I thought, pretty cool.
Oh, cool. I didn't see the pictures. I guess he posted on Twitter.
It was on, I saw him on Facebook. I don't know if he put it on Twitter or not, okay. But yeah. So they say "Axes Up" on them. I think he won those in the homecoming auction, maybe. I'm not sure, not 100% sure, but I think he did. So that's really cool. So get your My Plates. Again, classic win-win. You get a sweet plate, show your SFA pride, and then athletic teams get about 50% of your purchase price. If you love supporting your Jacks and want to support them in a new and fun, exciting way that you actually get something back, why not get a My Plates? There are multiple options you can use. You can order from 1 year, 3 year, 5 year terms. You can get a 1 year background only for only $50. What a great Christmas present for someone, especially that lumberjack in your life. And you're not sure what to get them because they have everything lumberjack. Well, maybe they don't have a My Plate. So go ahead and order that My Plate. You go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. You can even get a $50 rebate. Only takes a few minutes to do all of this. And you can get it regular. You can get it personalized. Anything you want to do. If you already have an SFA My Plate, did you know that you can move that over to the brand new purple SFA plate? You can do that too. You want to feel like you're, up to date and hip, then go ahead and do that. All you have to do is call. Let's call My Plates. If you already have a My Plate, but not the purple one, well, again, you can make a quick call, spend $50 and get the new one shipped to your home. I did that many moons ago. I had a different My Plate. It was like a Texas Fawn design one. And I was like, man, I really want the SFA one. This one we had the red logo or the red around the logo. And so for Christmas, my dad and mom just spent $50 and flipped it over to the purple ones and surprised me. And I was so pumped. I was excited. So yeah, that's all you have to do. So again, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year terms, go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. Get that $50 rebate. And if you don't want to pay all of it at one time, you can also do layaway too. So there's many options. It's a Stephen F. awesome way to support your teams. And it's a great moneymaker for the athletic department. So if you want to support your Jacks, get you a My Plate. Bingo, bango, boom. Another great way, as always, to drink Fredonia beer, specifically Purple Lights. Purple Lights is a great, refreshing lager, very sessionable, easy to drink, and of course, it's available at every SFA home game, along with Professional Texan and Angry Axe. So get you some Fredonia beer, baby. Come see us at the Fredonia Brewery at 138 North Mound Street at the corner of Hospital and Mound and have a fun time with us this holiday season. Got plenty of stocking stuffers. I'll be there. Jacqueline will be there every once in a while. But anyway, We love you guys. What a great game. Hell yeah to beating La Tech at their house. It's a great win for us. Good quad 3 win, and we couldn't be more stoked.
Very excited.
Very excited. All right, let's have a great night, a good weekend. Watch the game tomorrow on the
Field of 68.
Yeah. Their YouTube channel, and go Jacks. Kick some firm and axe. All right, everybody have a great night, and as always, axe some Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.